think 6.17. Yada viniyatam chittam atmanye vavatishthate nishpraha sarvakame yukta ityuchate tada. Yada viniyatam chittam atmanye vavatishthate. When the yogi, by practice of yoga, disciplines his mental activities, niyatam chittam, and becomes situated in transcendence, devoid of all material desires, nishpraha sarvakame bhyaha. He is said to be well established in yoga. Yukta uchate tada. How do I know if I am a yogi or not? It's a very simple definition in the shloka. The activities of the yogi are distinguished from those of an ordinary person by his characteristic cessation from all kinds of material desires, of which sex is the chief. Very nice point. Prabhupada gives the example of Ambarish Maharaj. So, how he became fixed in yoga. So, the shloka itself is very simple. Yukta iti uchyate tada. Who is a yogi? Yukta iti uchyate tada. Kada? When? Yada. When? Viniyatam chittam. When the activities of the mind are regulated. And atmanye vavatishthate. It is fixed in the Atma. I mean, if you are an impersonalist, interchangeably Atma or Paramatma. If you are an Ashtanga yogi meditating on Narayana, that Atma refers to Narayana. But atmanye vavatishthate is to be situated on the Advaya Vastu, on the absolute truth. Atmanye vavatishthate. The Eva Shabdham is important. As always in any shloka in Bhagavad Gita, you would always find this Eva Shabdham always there. Maam prapadya. Or atmaratir syad atmatirtasta manavaha atmanye santushtaha. So this Eva Shabdam always comes. Eva is something, a favorite of Krishna, because spiritual life means exclusive. Material life means bifurcated, diversified into many pursuits. So when the consciousness is not having the propensity to go somewhere else, a devotee sees this consciousness wanting to go somewhere else in a very interesting way. If we investigate our own mindsets when we begin an activity, we try to investigate, because what is yoga? Yoga means there must be some investigation, there must be some awareness of my feelings. When one is not able to be aware of one's feelings ever, then he can never make progress. First of all, one must see one's mind. That is when progress begins. So if we try to investigate our own mentality, we will realize, at least I tend to realize, that in all phases and all facets of activities, the innermost desire I have is to lord over. Prabhupada makes this point many times during his purports. And when I reflected on that, is that true? The answer was an emphatic yes. So the soul always has this tendency to be the lord. I must become better than my colleague. I must be the best Bhagavad Gita speaker, or I must be the most famous person, or I must have the most beautiful women as my wife, or I must have my best child. My child must be the best. So this sense of I and mine must be the best is very strong, because I want to be the Lord. And when I don't have the power to be the Lord, then I outsource that tendency to something that I possess. So that thing that I possess can do my own, execute my desire. I couldn't become a great singer. So you see all these Indian mothers and Indian dads, they send their children to different, competitions and singing competitions and star plus super singer or whatever. So they're very happy. They're eager. My child must like she must be my child. So all these tendencies are nothing but manifestations of wanting to be the Lord of all I survey. I am the Lord in different ways. I have a big house, I'm very comfortable. Krishna says this in 16th chapter. So the foundational aspect that is actually responsible for the mind to be distracted That's the devotee's vision of distraction. So one way to see the distraction is that I'm very distracted. That's one way to see distraction. But devotee goes a little further and asks, why are you distracted by the world? Because I am investigating where can I be the Lord. I couldn't be the Lord here, I couldn't be the Lord here, I couldn't be the Lord there. Now where can I be the Lord? So in this way I'm anxious because the mind is agitated, because it is anxious to be the Lord in some space. So when the mind, when the consciousness recedes, I mean, it withdraws, it gives up this tendency of wanting to be the Lord and agreeing to be the servant of Krishna, then there is no reason to be anxious because every object then serves only one purpose. What is that purpose? To serve the Lord. Because every object outside serves only one purpose, to serve the Lord. There is no difference between a gold coin or a stone if they are seen with respect to the Lord. Seen with respect to myself, the stone assumes a different significance than gold. So this whole world becomes one. What does it mean? It serves only one purpose to me. What is that purpose? To serve the Lord. So actually we don't see the world. We see the world with the purpose we have from that world. We don't see people. We see people from the purpose we think we will derive from them. And because our purpose is so confused, we don't see anything. A person who's got a useless purpose, which is the purpose to lord it over this world, he's very confused because he doesn't know where to lord. There is problems here, there are anxieties here, there are so many obstacles here, there is competition there, there is confusion there. Okay. So in this way, there is great confusion. So a person who realizes all the diversity that he sees in this world is basically born out of my own material desire to lord. Actually, material diversity I see is seen with respect to my own false ego. Actually, I mean, there is material diversity. We're not saying there is no material diversity. But to say it's not so significant to me. That's like, to give you an example. So there are so many states in Zimbabwe, but it is not of significance to me. It suffices to know it is Zimbabwe for me. I don't need to know every detail of Zimbabwe because I don't have anything to do with Zimbabwe. All I need to know is that Zimbabwe is a country in Africa. Suffice, is it not? Similarly, it suffices to know about this material world. It does matter. And it suffices to know as much as it can serve the Lord. It might appear very little impractical. Someone in the mode of passion, it might appear like that, because it appears to me like that many times. But when we advance ourselves in Krishna consciousness, we'll realize this point that there is no other purpose in this world other than to serve the Lord. Because ultimately it's matter. That's like I say, I have no purpose from Zimbabwe. No purpose to achieve. I do not need to know what's going on there. Like similarly. So when we realize, when we give up this tendency to be the Lord, then niyatam chittam. Or automatically the consciousness becomes regulated. Why? Because outside, inside, everything becomes one. Until outside and inside become one, how can the mind not go outside? Definitely it will go outside. Because there is something I can achieve outside, I cannot achieve inside. So the mind will want to go outside. When I understand whatever I want to achieve outside can be achieved better inside, then I'll go inside. Is it not? So I must first of all come to this conclusion that whenever I go outside, the consciousness goes outside, externally, in the material energy, Bahiranga Shakti, it is tending to want to be the Lord. No, I don't want to be the Lord. So whether I go outside or inside, it's to be the servant of the Lord. So that is why, that is the purpose, that is the meaning of atmanye vavatishthate. I am only fixed in the purpose of serving my spiritual master. Atmanye vavatishthate. And as soon as it is done, nishpraha sarvakame bhyo. Why nishpraha sarvakame bhyo? Because it is illusory. It doesn't serve any purpose. Only kama I have is Krishna kama. This is called yukta ityuchate. So I'll stop here. Any questions or comments are welcome. You can go through this purport. Very wonderful Amrish Maharaj's realization. Any questions, comments? Okay, thank you, devotee Saresh.